The American economy is the most complex, most sophisticated, and the greatest in all of human history. It is influenced by many factors, but there are three in particular that I think most fair-minded people could agree on. Number one, interest rates. Number two, consumer confidence. And number three, the expectations of the businesswomen and businessmen in America who create the jobs. Now, here is what they see. I think after 14 months, we understand what the Biden administration believes in. The Biden administration believes in bigger government, higher taxes, more spending, more debt, higher energy costs. And I say that because I believe there are many members of the Biden administration who quietly are very content with the high energy costs. I think they believe that high energy costs sells a lot of electric vehicles, and that this is a good experience for the American people to have to take the pain of higher energy costs. Maybe that will quicken the death of fossil fuels. And I think the Biden administration, if you look at its proposed budget, believes in a weaker military. In the 14 months that I have watched the Biden administration, I have watched the Biden administration do the following. It has mismanaged Congress. It has mismanaged COVID. It has mismanaged the border. It has mismanaged crime. It has mismanaged inflation. It has mismanaged Afghanistan. And I pray to God that it doesn't mismanage Ukraine. All of these things, unless you were in the quad playing Frisbee during Econ 101, influence the economy. Interest rates certainly influence the economy. We're having to raise interest rates because of Bidenomics. Consumer expectations and confidence are low as a result of what I just talked about. And I think if you talk to the average American businesswoman and businessman, they're very discouraged. No wonder GDP is falling. Yes, the Federal Reserve waited too late. But we're not going to get control of 8.5% in rising inflation without making changes both to monetary policy and fiscal policy. I think the Federal Reserve now understands the mistake it made. It's scaling back quantitative easing, and clearly they're raising interest rates. But you know what? The executive branch and the United States Congress need to do their part too. Here's what we have: a budget. We need to freeze it. We've got a budget. I'm not talking about shutting down government. We've got a budget. We need to freeze all new spending except for defense. And if you poll the members of the United States Congress, they'll say, "That's a great idea. Great idea." But then if you say, "But you understand that means you can't spend outside your budget." I mean, I'll give you an example. Do we need more money for COVID? The experts in the Biden administration say we do. But when you ask them, well, why don't you just repurpose some of the COVID money that we haven't spent? They say, no. We need new money. That adds to inflation. We have a crisis at the border. It's going to get worse, folks. You watch. Within the next 2 months, the Biden administration is going to say we need new spending for border security. And the cherry on the banana split is the big tech giveaway bill, the so-called China competitive bill that we're going to be asked to vote on. That's $250 to $400 billion, and it's a giveaway to big tech. Okay, if you believe in fiscal responsibility and restraint, you can't vote for that bill. Final point I make is look. Let me give you an example of the shortcomings and the reason I don't think this administration is taking all this seriously. Nobody in their right minds, if you're trying to get control of inflation and beat back stagflation and keep from having another GDP drop, would try to promulgate new NEPA rules unless you've parachuted in from another planet. We worked hard in the infrastructure bill. I didn't vote for it because the infrastructure bill, because it wasn't infrastructure. And I'm not going to buy a car to get the cup holders. But one of the good provisions in that bill was to reform NEPA. Now the Biden administration is turning that totally upside down. That's going to add extraordinary costs and burdens to business women across America. I spoke too long. I'm sorry. I'm done.
That's fine.
That's all I have to say.